morning. Today is Monday the 11th of January, I believe. I just thought I would pop in. I know that lots of you said that you would like to see more vlogs, and I enjoyed filming them, so I thought I would try and maybe film just some clips and see how much I get, and then maybe upload maybe a January vlog, or maybe 2 in January. I suspect not, to be honest with you, because we're in lockdown now and the children are home. Everyone's homeschooling again, and we're all trying to work from home. I'm still actually going to work. Actually, the libraries are still open this time for a click and collect service, a limited service, and for computer use. So we are one of the only places locally that has public computers, which, as you know, can be vital to many people. So we are still open. So I'm still going into work. That's the long version of a short tale. So yes, I'm also trying to work from home, which is hard because we, last time we were in lockdown, Lulu was at primary school. So I had one at primary school, one at secondary school, and my eldest was at uni. But this time they're both at secondary school. She started secondary school in September, and we have not got around to buying her a laptop. So she's having to use mine because a lot this time for the secondary school, their learning is quite structured, so they're sticking to their lessons and they're having live lessons mixed with some sort of home study. But she needs her laptop basically, really between the hours of 9 and 2. So until we can get something else sorted, she's using mine, which means I can't really do a lot of work. So, I mean, I can do things like photography and filming, and obviously crochet, but at the moment I'm trying to get my pattern for my berets finished. Well, they are finished actually. I'll show you quickly because I think this will probably be up after the podcast. So these are the berets that I was working on. That's the lovely velvet yarn one. And then I worked one up to see how it would compare in some other chunky yarn, because I thought people might not have access to that velvet yarn. The thing I would say is, you get a chunkier hat, obviously, with this wool. But I can't get this pattern to work up with just the way I want, with just one skein. So it takes 2 balls of that was Wool in the Gang yarn, whereas this one came from one of those big sort of 400-gram balls. So anyway, they're finished, the pattern's written up. I have started charting out a diagram for the PDF. It will be a free pattern, but I'll put a chart on the PDF for those that want to buy it. And today I'm going to take some step-by-step photos, so for the blog. So I thought that's a nice, easy job that I can do while Lulu's upstairs doing her home learning. And they're both, this time that we both kitted them out with desks. I mean, Lulu had a desk anyway. Ollie got one at the end of the last lockdown in their bedroom. So they've got some nice quiet space to go and do their home study, which was good for me because I can be downstairs and cleaning and pottering around and working, really, while they're out of the way. So, but I have become a bit of a, probably like most of you actually, I feel very blessed that they are old enough to do it themselves. And it's kind of sad because, they're children at the end of the day. They should be around other children, and they suddenly seem so adult. They're checking their emails every morning. They're checking their, they're going on checking for what live lessons they've got. They're submitting their work. They're having to self sort of motivate as well. And I've been really impressed, and I'm trying not to be too hard on them, really, because I think it's such an unusual situation for them. And although they had a bit last spring, it's still really hard to be in front of a computer sort of 5 hours a day if you're not used to that. And they're not, they're children. They're used to walking from class to class, having a laugh with their mates, so that's quite sad. But everyone, I feel very lucky that we're able to have them at home, and even when I go off to work, you know, my husband's also self-employed, so there's always someone around should they need help. But yes, come lunchtime, I'm dinner lady. So they put their orders in. So I've been making toasties and sandwiches and baguettes and trying really just to give them a bit of a nice lunch, just to break the day up for them. And I know certainly my son is very, food makes him very happy. So yeah, so the days are short for me, probably longer for them. So I try and do a bit of work in the morning when I've got the light, and then when Lulu finishes with the laptop at 2, we try and go out for a walk to get our daily exercise, so that she gets to go out on her skateboard or, you know, her bike, whatever. And I walk the dog then as well. And then by the time we've come back, it's about 3, half 3. I'm losing light, so I'll try and do some more work on the computer, but I've only got another hour really before I have to then prepare dinner. So I've not been getting a lot done. I think that's the long and short of it. But I have managed to get this hat done, and I'm going to get that up on the blog this week. And then there's a tutorial that I want to film as well. So I've got things to be doing, just not getting as much done really. But yeah, so I'm going to film. We filmed a nice walk. We went out the other day. I can't remember for the life of me where we went now. But anyway, it was a really lovely foggy morning, so I took some lovely footage of that, and I think I'll just pick up the camera as and when, and yeah, and see what I get at the end of it. So I hope you're all well. I hope you're all managing in the lockdown. I'm sending you lots of love, positive vibes. I know how hard it is. It's hard for everyone, harder for some, you know. So yeah, just sending lots of love. Bye-bye. So we have just received a very exciting delivery. This is a new toasty maker. So with the children being home, I've been making their lunches at lunchtime, and my son in particular has been really enjoying toasties, and I've been doing them under the grill because our old toasty maker, it's here, I've just pulled it out so that I can find a way to dispose of it, is so old. It must be about 10 years old. It's the same brand, it's a Daisy one. And actually before I had this is a you can do 2 toasties in this one. I had the same one, but it was a single toasty maker, and it was like designed like a cow. And every time you opened it, it mooed. Anyway, I've had this one for such a long time, but the plates have gone inside, the non-stick on the plates have gone, and we don't use it very often. I mean, like I said, this is 10 years old, and it probably was coming out about once a year. But, sorry, that's the dog settling down on a carrier bag. Here he is. He just loves sitting on carrier bags for some reason. So if he finds one lying around, He's so happy. Yes, so he's been having toasties and he's been asking for toasties, and I do have this little contraption that fits into my toaster, but again, you can only do one at a time. And with Lulu having lunch and Ollie, I mean, he's, you know, a grown teenage boy, he just eats and eats and eats. So sometimes at lunchtime he'll have 2 toasties. So I thought maybe I'd just get another one. I had a look out, and actually they're so reasonable. It's the same brand. I got it for £20. So I think that's just going to be really useful, because he can make his own now, rather than fiddling around with the grill and things like that. I mean, he could do that. He's just, you know, I just think this is a bit easier and a bit nicer, a bit more fun for them maybe. So I'm going to do that, and then he can make himself some toasties now whenever he wants to. So yeah, I'm a bit sad to say goodbye to this little one, because I think I've had this since my eldest daughter was young. Hello, today's Tuesday. It's about 11 o'clock, and I haven't as yet been able to do any work because Lulu's still using my laptop for homeschooling. So I managed to do a meeting on my phone this morning, a staff meeting with the library team. And other than that, I don't have anything to do. So I've just been tidying up, and when she finishes around 2, I've got loads of work to do today, loads of photo editing. I need to do a blog post and create a PDF for the berry pattern that I was working on. So, but until then, I thought I would do a quick banana bread. So I thought I'd bring you along. I've got 3 very ripe bananas, and the children absolutely love banana cake. They love it warm. So if I do it now, I should maybe time it in time for their lunch, so they can have a slice after their lunch. So yeah, I thought I'd just bring you along. So I think I've got everything I need. It's just canister sugar, plain flour, the bananas, bicarb, butter. I used just a bit of sugar for the top, and then the lemon juice is to make a sort of buttermilk substitute. The recipe does call for 4 bananas, but I've used 3 to date. Sometimes I've only had 2, and I've used 2 and it's just been fine. The recipe I use, I've got in here. This is an old book that I've had for years, and you just can write out recipes, but as you can see, it's full of recipes that I've collected over the years that I wanted to keep. And actually most of the recipes in here are they're ones that I've stuck in. So we've got lots of little bits stuck here and there. I'll try and hold this with my other hand actually. There's a recipe there for kedgeree, which we like. Salads. But I think I probably got out of the habit of sticking them in, and so there's just loads and loads of pieces of paper that need to be stuck in. But one of the recipes that I do use a lot is this one for banana bread. We just really like this recipe. I can't tell you why. It is one that I found online. This one was from the BBC Food, and it is just the one I make all the time. In fact, I don't really need the recipe for it anymore, but I thought I'd show you. I think if I can find it, I'll try and link it down below. I just find it's really nice. It's a really nice moist one, and I think it's down to the buttermilk. Now, I don't often have buttermilk in. It's not something that we cook with, so I just use 85ml of normal milk with some lemon juice, and it just sort of curdles it and makes it thicker. So, but it's a really nice one, and the children like it. So I don't often stray from that, to be honest with you, because I know what I'm doing. actually, while we're talking about cooking books, I'll show you this. I was showing this to my eldest the other day. She said, how do you learn to cook everything? You know, all the things that you do, like the gravies and the cheese sauces. And I said, well, my mum gave me this book because I think I probably had a similar query when I first started cooking properly, which probably wasn't until I was pregnant with my eldest, Kyra, to be honest with you. I lived off bacon sandwiches before that. But yeah, my mum gave me this book, and this was her book from school. And it's got everything in it. Okay, look, so you've got food values, stocks, sauces, cheeses, eggs, and all the, you know, all the sauces. So a basic scone recipe, and this book has been so well loved, as you can see. I have used it to learn how to make gravies, stocks, scones, cakes, you know, it's just everything really. All really some lovely old-fashioned dishes as well, and things that you probably wouldn't cook with anymore. It's got recipes for people that are ill. It's just a really lovely little suet crusty pastry, rough pastry, gooseberry fool, sponge fruit flan trifle, baked egg custard. I used that recipe a lot actually because I loved rice pudding as well. This is a rice pudding recipe I use. So a lot of other things that I just make now, I've learned from this book. And my daughter was after something similar, and I said she could take this, but anyway, for Christmas I bought her the series of Delia books, the Learn to Cook, with the 3 books. So and she was so excited by it on Christmas Day. It was really sweet actually. So that's got a lot of the basic recipes in as well. But this one I like. It's got all about all the different cuts of meat, and I think the Delia ones do also have that. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting because this book must be so old now. But so well loved. Lilies,
lemongrass, tarragon.
Wow. What are you cooking, Rob?
Well, it's a Thai inspired fish dish.
Yummy.